Hi guys, my name's Steph. I am from Melbourne, Australia, and I am a psoriasis sufferer. Some of you may have seen my Instagram, See Your Psoriasis, which I started July last year, and it's seriously been one of the most positive things that I've ever done. The reason for my YouTube video is just that it's the next step. I have been putting it off for a little while, so like apologies for the unprofessional video. I've never done one of these before, and I'm literally sitting on the ground. So anyway, a little bit of background. I was diagnosed with psoriasis when I was about 17, but to start off with, I was misdiagnosed. So I had like a tiny little patch just on my chest. It was itchy. I kind of ignored it for like 2 months, and then eventually I was like, hang on, this isn't going away, and some other little patches are forming as well. So I went to the doctors, and they actually said that I had dermatitis. So I guess I got treated for that. They just gave me like a steroid cream, put it on, it kind of like went away, but just left like some white marks, and then yeah, just ignored it. Like it wasn't really bothering me. And then yeah, maybe like 6 months later, it started getting like flared again and started getting really itchy. So then I was kind of like, what's going on? And then before I knew it, it was all over my chest, and then it was starting to form on my arms as well. And that's when I went and got like a second opinion, and they said, no, you've got psoriasis, it's not dermatitis. Steroid creams, steroid tablets, all that sort of stuff. And I guess ever since then up until now, my psoriasis has just been so up and down. You know, it's just gotten worse and worse, and I've had so many like low moments with it. And you know, the cold weather for it's not great. I live in Melbourne, so majority of the year it is really cold. And yeah, I don't know, it's been like such a struggle. And you know, when I was first diagnosed, I didn't really have anyone to connect with. So I guess that's why I'm really thankful for social media, because, you know, I've just connected with like some really amazing people on Instagram. I mean, even if you have a look at the hashtag psoriasis, there's like over 1 million posts. Like, it's really awesome. And yeah, I just really enjoy, I guess, spreading awareness and connecting with others. It hasn't always been, you know, something that I've spoken so openly about. Yeah, for years I just used to wear long sleeve, like literally like skivvies, a long sleeve like jumper that just like covers my neck. Even in the summer I was wearing jeans, and I was just, I didn't want to talk about it. If anyone said, what's wrong with your skin, I would just completely like shut down. And you say psoriasis, like no one actually knows what that is. Well, I mean, I guess at the time no one knew what it was. So then you'd be like, oh, it's eczema. Just to completely shut down the conversation and just stop it in its tracks. Because so many people have been like, you know, I know that they don't mean to be like offensive, but because it is something that I was self-conscious about, I just didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want, you know, people to notice it. And I mean, people do, because they're only human. But, you know, some people would be like, is that burn marks? Is that like, what are those scars from? And all that sort of thing. And I never wanted to discuss it. I never wanted to speak about it. I was just in a really like low point in my life. I was hiding my skin, and I wasn't really caring about trying to fix it. Because, I mean, originally when I went to the doctors and I was told you've got psoriasis, I was like, awesome, now they know what it is, I can completely get rid of it. Then you find out there's not actually a cure, and you're like, hang on a second. Like, you almost don't want to believe what the doctor says, but it's true. And I think that was kind of a moment where maybe I was in a little bit of denial, and I wasn't really trying to help myself fix it, because I was like, I want to eat like McDonald's, and I want to eat junk food, and I want to go out drinking and whatever, and none of that's good for it. And I suppose I just wasn't really that educated about foods that were going to heal it and fix it and help it. So like, you know, it's so hard, because it probably sounds really silly to some people when I say I wasn't trying to help myself and I wasn't trying to fix it. but it's only because I tried and tried and I kept failing, because I was obviously not doing the right thing, but I was failing and failing, and then I just thought, stuff it, like it's never going to go away, there's no cure. Was really negative about it, and I guess that's when, yeah, I just gave up, and it got so bad. Like, I'm talking my neck, my head, my scalp, like all over my body, and it was elevated, it was so thick, and just I couldn't leave the house, you know. I was so miserable, because even people would see my neck. Even if I was to wear something, they would see my neck, they would see my face. Couldn't wear foundation. It was just, it was horrible. So I guess that I got to that point, and then one day I just thought, you know what, this is not what I want to do anymore. Like, I remember it being a like 35-degree day. I was boiling, and I had to fill up my car. I was in a long sleeve like jumper, and I thought to myself, I can't get out of the car with the jumper on, I'm gonna be so hot. So I thought, stuff it, took it off, just had a t-shirt on. I'm like, who am I gonna run into at 7-Eleven while I'm filling up my car? Like, no one. Filled up the car, I went inside. Well, because it's a hot day, everyone was lining up to get Slurpees. So I'm sort of at the front of the line, and there's a massive line of people behind me. Finally got to the front of the line, and the guy behind the counter was like, what's wrong with your skin? What is all that all over your skin? So the whole line like was obviously looking like, what's wrong with her skin? I just paid the money and I walked straight out. Got to my car. Like, I just remember I burst into tears and like cried the whole way home. And I think after that point I thought, well, I want to make changes. Like, I don't want to be like this person. I don't want to be like known for the person with something wrong with their skin. Even though that's a really bad way to look at it, but it really made me just like hit rock bottom. And I was already sort of like drinking all the time and not looking after my body. I wasn't eating right. I was like barely eating. I was eating like takeaway all the time. And yeah, you could see it on my skin. You could definitely see it. I just wasn't helping myself. And then I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I'm going to make some changes. So I did some research, you know, just on different diets and that sort of thing. Oh, actually, sorry, going back to the guy at 7-Eleven. I know he didn't actually mean that. Like, he probably wouldn't have meant to be offensive. He probably just hadn't seen anything like it before. And, you know, that's not the only time that I've had someone, you know, speak to me about my skin or say something, you know, awful. Which I'll delve into in other videos, because I've got, like, some real good stories. But yeah, with diet, I think once you figure out what's good for your skin and what's not, then you really get to like a really good like space in your life. And a lot of it's like trial and error with your own body. So if I eat a certain food and I'm like flaring and itching all night, like I know, okay, that's obviously like doesn't agree with me, or doesn't agree with, you know, someone that has got an autoimmune condition like psoriasis. So yeah, you kind of learn a lot, and you just like, I'm just at a point where I know what to eat and what not to eat. You know, there's still some things I'm a little unsure about, but I have a pretty good idea of what helps my skin. So yeah, I suppose that more reason behind doing this video as well and creating the Instagram page was to help, not just help myself, but like help others. Because I know when I was first diagnosed, like I didn't know anyone with psoriasis. I felt so alone. You know, I obviously could Google a few things, but there wasn't Instagram like there is now. You know, there's over 1 million posts, as I mentioned. And yeah, like I remember when I first made the page, like all the support I got was so amazing. Like I couldn't believe there was that many people being like, me too, like I'm in the same boat. Like they sent me photos of their skin, and I was like, that looks like my arm, or that looks like my legs. And it was a really cool feeling. And so since then I've just been like sharing more and more and more, and it's made me so much more confident. I'm so happy to talk about like my skin. I'm happy to talk about psoriasis. But you know what, since like this revelation, no one on the street, like no randoms have asked me, but if they do, I'll be sure to answer the question and be really happy to answer the question, rather than, you know, before when I just like would shut down and not want to talk about it. And I suppose it just goes to show like how powerful social media is. Like I just think it's so amazing that it can connect so many people. because it's just, it's opened my eyes to just so much more. And it's also just to it's taught me more to just not, you know, never judge anyone, because you just don't know like the battle that they're fighting, whether it be like physical or mental or whatever it might be. And with people, you know, saying, oh, it's just like a physical like skin condition, it's not. It really affects your mental health, it affects your social life, it affects your confidence. It can cause depression, and there's definitely been times when I felt so low. And you know, because it's like, why doesn't my body want to like work the way it needs to? Like, why is my immune system attacking itself? So yeah, anyway, it is a strange condition. I'll never understand it. Just when I think I'm like onto something, I'll get a new patch and be like, okay. So yeah. Yeah, so anyway, I hope you guys like my video. Like I said, I'm so sorry, no tripod, like I'm sitting on the ground. It's just, yeah, they will get better. I have so many ideas for like cool videos to share, and this is only because of stuff I've tried to search and I can't find it. So, you know, if there's one person that I can help feel like not alone, or if I can help someone by like recommending a cream or something like that, then that makes me happy. And yeah, so yeah, if you do like my video, then subscribe. And also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm always posting like diet stuff, creams. Like I post a lot of skin stuff. But yeah, if you've got psoriasis or you know someone else with psoriasis, then yeah, subscribe or like my Instagram. Sorry, I'm rambling. I'll just quickly show you guys my skin. You've probably like noticed in the video that I have some marks. It's actually flat and it's not elevated, and it's because I've actually been away. So I've been in the sun. For me, sunlight is just like the biggest healer. So yeah, thanks guys, thanks for watching.